Someone is very scared of losing you, and you will be surprised that their name is not necessarily the person you might expect. It's not always your romantic partner, your best friend, or even your family member. Sometimes, it's someone you least expect, someone who silently admires you from afar, someone who values your presence more than you realize. In a world where relationships often take center stage, we often overlook the silent admirers, the unsung heroes who cherish our existence without ever expressing it overtly. Imagine walking down a crowded street, bustling with the cacophony of life, people rushing to their destinations, conversations blending into a symphony of urban existence. Amidst the chaos, there's someone stealing glances at you, their heart racing with the fear of never getting to know you, the fear of never being able to express what you mean to them. That someone could be your colleague who admires your work ethic, your neighbor who finds solace in your smile, or even the barista at your favorite coffee shop who secretly hopes for a glimpse of you every morning. In a world fueled by superficial connections and fleeting interactions, genuine admiration often gets overshadowed by louder voices and brighter personalities. We tend to gravitate towards those who are outspoken, confident, and assertive, often overlooking the quiet souls who hold us in high regard. But it's precisely these silent admirers who understand the depth of our essence, who see beyond the facade we present to the world, and who fear the prospect of losing us more than words can express. Think about that classmate who always sits at the back of the room, stealing glances at you while you engage in discussions with your friends. They might not have the courage to approach you directly, but their fear of losing the chance to connect with you gnaws at their heart every single day. It's the fear of missed opportunities, of what could have been if only they had mustered the courage to break the invisible barriers that separate them from you. The fear of losing someone isn't always rooted in romantic longing. It transcends the boundaries of conventional relationships. It's the fear of losing a connection, a bond that transcends the limitations of labels and definitions. It's about the moments shared, the laughter exchanged, and the unspoken understanding that exists between two souls who resonate with each other on a deeper level. Consider the coworker who admires your professional prowess, who sees you as a mentor, a role model worth emulating. They fear the day when circumstances might pull you apart, when you might move on to greener pastures, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. It's not just the fear of losing a colleague, it's the fear of losing an inspiration, a guiding light that illuminates their path in the corporate labyrinth. The fear of losing someone often stems from the realization of their significance in our lives. It's the sudden awareness of how much we rely on their presence, their support, and their companionship. It's about recognizing the void that would be left behind if they were to disappear from the canvas of our existence, leaving behind an indelible mark that can never be erased. Think about the friend who has stood by you through thick and thin, who has shared your joys and sorrows, your triumphs and tribulations. They fear the thought of losing the bond that binds you together, the shared history that defines your relationship. It's not just about losing a friend, it's about losing a part of themselves, a mirror that reflects their journey through life. But what about those who silently admire us from a distance, who watch us from the sidelines, afraid to step into the spotlight? What about the strangers whose lives we touch in passing, leaving behind a fleeting impression that lingers long after we've moved on? Their fear is perhaps the most poignant of all, the fear of losing a connection that never had the chance to blossom, a potential friendship that remains unexplored. It's easy to dismiss the silent admirers, to overlook their presence in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But if we take a moment to look beyond the surface, we might be surprised to find a world of unspoken emotions, a tapestry of human connections waiting to be woven. Perhaps the shy stranger who smiles at you on the bus is not just being polite. Perhaps they see something in you that resonates with their soul, something worth cherishing and holding on to. In a society that values extroversion and assertiveness, we often forget that true strength lies in vulnerability, in the willingness to open our hearts to others and embrace the connections that enrich our lives. The fear of losing someone reminds us of our inherent need for human connection, our longing for belongingness in a world that often feels cold and indifferent. So, the next time you catch someone staring at you with a mixture of awe and trepidation, don't be too quick to dismiss them as just another stranger. Take a moment to acknowledge the silent admiration that exists between you, the unspoken bond that transcends words and gestures. For in that moment of recognition, you might find a connection worth nurturing, a friendship waiting to blossom amidst the chaos of life. It's not just about who we love or who loves us back. It's about the countless souls who touch our lives in ways we can't always comprehend. It's about the quiet moments of shared understanding, the fleeting glances that speak volumes, and the silent prayers whispered into the void. Someone is very scared of losing you, and their name might surprise you, but perhaps, in acknowledging their fear, we can find the courage to embrace the connections that make life worth living. In our quest for meaningful connections, we often overlook the profound impact we have on those around us, both known and unknown. Every interaction, no matter how fleeting, has the potential to leave a lasting impression, to spark a flicker of hope or admiration in someone's heart. Consider the power of a simple smile exchanged with a stranger on a crowded street. In that brief moment of connection, you might unknowingly become the source of solace for someone battling their inner demons. Your smile could be the glimmer of light that pierces through the darkness of their despair, reminding them that kindness still exists in a world fraught with uncertainty. Likewise, a kind word or gesture extended to a coworker or acquaintance could be the lifeline they desperately need to navigate through challenging times. Your encouragement might reignite their passion for their work, reaffirming their sense of purpose and belonging in the professional realm. It's often said that actions speak louder than words, and nowhere is this more evident than in the realm of human connection. A simple act of kindness, no matter how small, has the power to ripple outward, touching the lives of countless individuals in ways we may never fully comprehend. But what about the silent admirers, those who admire us from afar without ever mustering the courage to express their feelings? Their fear of losing us is perhaps the most poignant of all, rooted in the uncertainty of what could have been if only they had dared to take a chance. Imagine the coworker who secretly admires your intellect and creativity, who finds themselves captivated by your presence in meetings and brainstorming sessions. They fear the day when circumstances might pull you apart, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. Their admiration is not born out of romantic longing, but rather a deep appreciation for your unique talents and contributions to the workplace.